This is KDKA-TV News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Ken Rice. We begin with sad news tonight. Someone known and respected by generations of Pittsburgh sports fans, Stan Savran, has died. For nearly 50 years on radio and TV, Stan covered the fates of our city's teams, riding the highs and lows with all of us and sharing his deep insight along the way. Rich Walsh joins me now with a look at a Pittsburgh legend. Rich.
Ken, definitely a sad day in Pittsburgh sports world. Legendary sportscaster Stan Savran lost his battle with lung cancer, passed away tonight at the age of 76.
Nonetheless, what a night for Bill Mazeroski.
Stan Savran was born February 25th, 1947 in Cleveland, Ohio, and a graduate of Miami University of Ohio, but his heart has been in Pittsburgh since 1976 when he accepted a job at WWSW-AM and spent the last 47 years telling stories about the city's favorite sports teams. Savran wasn't only a wizard with his words.
You still carry that Western Pennsylvania thing that seems to exist with all Western Pennsylvanians?
You mean you can't tell?
Savran was also an innovator in the Pittsburgh sports landscape. Started in radio, but transitioned into television in the early 80s, working as a sports anchor and then the host of one of the most well-known Pittsburgh cable sports shows, Sports Beat, which started on KBL and changed into Fox Sports Pittsburgh and lasted nearly 2 decades.
I was for real, Officer Sorry again, 8 years later.
He had those nice sunglasses on, though, that I think he got at, 7-Eleven or something.
You got a deal. You got the portable camera and the sunglasses.
Savran was beloved, known as the godfather of Pittsburgh sports. Worked with the Steelers.
Hello and welcome to all in Steeler Nation. I'm Stan Savran from the Pittsburgh Steelers Radio Network, and welcome to our time machine.
Also hosted pre- and post-game shows for the Pirates and Penguins.
Of course, replaces Tom Barrasso, who's out with the knee. That means Peter Scudra will get the call in goal tonight.
Savran was outspoken, didn't sugarcoat anything, told you how it was, good or bad.
We weren't a very good football team, and I wonder when you got drafted by the Steelers, what was your initial reaction?
And there wasn't a sport or a player, especially here in Pittsburgh, he couldn't tell you a story about.
You look back, what are you most proud of? The tournament victories, the major championships, or what you've given to the game and how many millions of people you drew to the game?
Stan Savran was a legend to all Pittsburgh sports fans. To me, he was a mentor and a good friend, and gone too soon at the age of 76. I had a chance to work with and alongside Stan for the last 20-plus years, and he was the best, and I'll miss him dearly. Rest in peace, Stan.
I worked alongside Stan as well many, many years ago, and I remember being so surprised to find out after observing Stan, listening to him on the radio, finding out he was from Cleveland, because you had every impression this guy was born and raised here. He was just, his knowledge was so deep of the local teams. To find out he was a transplant was really incredible.
Yeah, he was beloved by Pittsburgh sports fans. Born in Cleveland, actually was a Cleveland Indians ball boy way back when. But I can tell you, I sat next to him for the last 2 decades at Steelers games, and there wasn't anything he didn't know about the Steelers, Pirates, or Penguins, or a player. He was like a human encyclopedia.
Yeah, there's also a soft side to him. I remember he used to read an essay on Mother's Day, remembering how his mother used to wash his uniforms and clean his socks because he was he was a young athlete, and just how much he appreciated it, and it touched a lot of hearts. And for years after that, people would ask him to repeat it.
Yeah, he was a mentor to me, and there wasn't a year that went by that he didn't text me or call me happy birthday, wish me happy birthday.
Classy individual.
Yes, he was.
All right, rest easy, Stan. We have this tonight from the Steelers. President Art Rooney II calling Stan a legendary person and a media icon. Rooney saying he was a gentleman in every way possible, and he did so much for our city and Western Pennsylvania with his honest candor and knowledge of all sports, both locally and nationally. He was truly one of a kind and will be missed, but always remembered. Now, live look at downtown Pittsburgh this evening, where it may be clear outside now, but we do have more rain moving into the picture. We want to get to First Alert meteorologist Ray Petlin. Ray, we woke up to rain this morning, and we understand there's more rain coming.
Yeah, we're going to wake up to a little sunshine, I think, first before that rain gets here, though. Clouds are starting to break up from our first batch of rain that moved through, but you could see round 2 trying to sweep into northern Indiana. I think this is going to be arriving after lunchtime tomorrow. So we'll get a little early upfront sunshine, and then the clouds will build back in, and we'll start to see some showers trying to take over. But the radar's coming in nice and quiet right now, aside from some ground clutter. You can see the clearings already starting to take place here in Pittsburgh. 58 mostly clear to Greece, clear down in Washington, back to Wheeling, clear in Morgantown. Still some clouds up to the north and the mid-50s for Newcastle, Butler, Franklin, and DuBois, Indiana as well. But when those clouds break up, these temperatures are going to fall off a little more quickly, and I'm expecting most places to wake up with upper 40s and low 50s for temperatures early in the morning with that sunshine. From there, the early sunshine will give us a little temperature boost, but once those clouds start to move in and the rain starts to move in, that's going to put the pause button on our temperatures going up to where they should be for this time of year, although we'll top off near 70 degrees, and then the showers turn on for the second part of the day. So even though it might be sunny on your way out the door, an umbrella might be a good idea. Now, it is going to be cool most of this week. We will finally see those temperatures late in the week jump back, but we have more rain chances coming up our way, and a little sunshine is going to get sprinkled in there too. So it's not all rain, but we do need that rain. We'll talk about what that rain means for the Taylor Swift concert and the Father's Day weekend and the grilling plans that usually come along with it coming up.
Thanks, Ray. Tonight, police are still looking for two men they say they want to talk to in connection with the deadly shooting of a woman in Jeannette last week. Family and friends of Brianna Lartz gathered for a vigil. Jennifer Barrasso has the latest on that and the police investigation.
A spokesperson for the Westmoreland County DA's office tells me Deshaun Russell and another man have not been brought into custody. Sources telling me that the U.S. Marshals may get involved soon in the search, and the U.S. Marshals confirm they are ready and willing when they are called. 3 days after mom of two, 25-year-old Brianna Lartz of Jeannette, was shot to death on Lowry Avenue at a friend's home, and 4 others were shot who are all expected to survive, family and friends gathered for a vigil at Altman Park.
She loved people. She loved cooking. She's a great chef. And she loved her children. That was her main thing, her boys. And I'm so worried about them.
She empowered me to be myself, and it was all love. She loved the hardest.
Right now, police are still looking for 2 persons of interest. Deshaun Russell, seen on the left, whose most recent address is Penn Hills. Police are also trying to identify the second man on the right, captured on surveillance. The family says Lartz and Russell shared a 3-year-old son, Kahari, together, and at one point they dated. Her mother says Russell was abusive. Friday night, he was supposed to bring Kahari to her at the time of the shooting. Court records show Russell's criminal history includes a recent attempted homicide charge in Uniontown, which was withdrawn. Brianna's mom pleaded for Russell to come forward.
I just want justice. That's all I want. That's all anybody wants. I don't know what, the circumstances were surrounding this whole horrible, horrific crime, but I would like for Deshaun to come to his senses and just turn himself in. Just do the right thing for your kids, for your child. Just do the right thing.
You're going to get what you deserve. I can't use the language I want to use.
Detectives won't say if they have arrest warrants. Meantime, the motive is unclear at this point. Reporting in downtown Jeannette, Jennifer Barrasso, KDKA-TV News.
2 people were shot and wounded this afternoon. This was in the 100 block of Seneca Street in Uptown. Pittsburgh police responded to a shot spotter alert for 7 rounds fired. Police found a man and woman there with gunshot wounds. Both were taken to the hospital in stable condition. Today was the start of week 3 of testimony in the Pittsburgh Synagogue shooting trial, a long day of testimony that included ballistics evidence, anti-Semitic rants, and the balance between free speech and racism. Megan Schiller reports from the courthouse.
We spent hours today hearing about the posts that accused gunman made on Gab.com. And one of the most upsetting posts was one that was done just hours before the attack, where he appears to blame Hayas, an organization with Jewish roots that was focused on resettling refugees here in Pittsburgh. For the first time, we heard from Andrew Torba, the 32-year-old created and runs Gab.com. He calls it a free speech platform, but many say it's a free pass for racists like the accused Pittsburgh synagogue shooter. The U.S. attorney asked Torba point blank, can people post anti-Semitic content on your network? To which Torba replied, if protected by the First Amendment, yes, they can. Torba said he contacted the FBI on October 27th, the day of the attack, and shut down the gunman's access to his account after learning about the shooting. We also heard from the president and CEO of HIAS, the only Jewish organization that helps resettle refugees. It also appears to be the target of the gunman's criticism in the days and hours leading up to the attack. The gunman shared this HIAS post talking about the refugees and the locations of the helpers, including a Dor Hadash, with the caption, quote, "Why, hello there, HIAS. You like to bring in hostile invaders to dwell among us? We appreciate the list of friends you have provided." The gunman followed it up with a later post just hours before the attack that read, "HIAS likes to bring invaders in that kill our people. I can't sit by and watch my people get slaughtered. Screw your optics. I'm going in." And it all wrapped up with testimony today, with the gunman repeatedly posting on social media, quote, "Hitler did nothing wrong." Reporting tonight outside the federal courthouse, I'm Megan Schiller, KDKA News.
If you or someone you know is experiencing trauma from the trial, you can call the Pittsburgh Crisis Hotline, 1-888-7-YOU-CAN, or contact the 1027 Healing Partnership. The man charged with stealing Kenny Pickett's SUV was supposed to have a hearing today, but it was postponed because Christopher Carter doesn't have a lawyer yet. Carter's accused of stealing Pickett's new Hyundai. Police say the vehicle and a stealer's playbook inside it were found a short time later near Carter's home in Murraysville. Tonight, the human remains recovered from the scene of the Interstate 95 collapse in Philadelphia have been identified. A cousin of the victim said Nathan Moody of suburban Philly was the truck driver who died. He was a father of 3. The tanker fire yesterday is what led to the collapse of the overpass above it, carrying the northbound lanes of I-95. Frank Graber says the road buckled underneath him.
I felt a drop like a roller coaster. So I was like, well, it wasn't very smart because I could have fell right in the fire.
Governor Josh Shapiro signed a disaster declaration for Philadelphia that'll free up funding and make reconstruction of the interstate a priority. Taylor Swift takes over Acrisure Stadium this weekend. Coming up, the unique welcome that one local Swiftie wants Pittsburgh to give her. Plus, this is not something you want to find in your swimming pool. What happened after this crocodile got caught? If you're planning on going to the Taylor Swift shows this weekend, Pittsburgh Regional Transit says stop worrying about where to park and take the T to Acrisure Stadium instead. It's going to be running extra cars on the T, both before and after the shows on Friday and Saturday nights. And they say they'll have trains running until the shows, after the shows, until the platforms are clear. Hotel rooms this weekend are hard to come by, and the ones that are available are going to cost you. Take a look at how much rooms are going for Saturday. Earlier today, Booking.com was showing a room at the Omni William Penn offered at $1,079. The Wyndham Grand was asking $739, and the Drury Inn and Suites out at Settlers Ridge was at $510. Swift will be here for 2 days, and during that time, one local fan and the others rallying behind him are hoping to give Swift a very warm Pittsburgh welcome. Royce Jones is here to explain that. Royce.
Hey, Ken, yeah, from a special light display in Vegas to a street renaming in Arlington and even a city renaming in Glendale, Arizona. Cities across the country have been rolling out the red carpet for Taylor Swift on her current Eras tour. And if one local Swiftie has his way, Pittsburgh will be no exception. Kevin Leonard and his friends have been enchanted by Taylor Swift for a while. They already caught the Eras tour in Nashville and have tickets to see Swift here in Pittsburgh this upcoming weekend.
It's amazing. She performed for 3.5 hours, just her.
But when the Grammy Award winner graces the stage at Acrisure Stadium this Friday and Saturday, Leonard hopes the city can welcome her in an Iron City kind of way.
I made a joke about how, wouldn't it be cool if the Iron City beer sign, if somebody put, Swift City or, Swift City beer up there, that would be like really cool because it's such a big focal point of the city. Looking up and seeing Swift City, I think she would appreciate it. We would appreciate it. I think the city would think it would be a fun, thing to do.
His joke about making some temporary edits to the Iron City beer sign overlooking downtown has since become a mission to have his wildest dreams come true. He created a petition on change.org for Swifties to show their support.
I haven't had any negative feedback. No one thinks it's a bad idea.
Leonard says the name change from Iron City Beer to Swift City Beer would only be for the 16th and 17th while Swift is in town. He has reached out to Iron City to present his petition, but he's not heard back yet. And we contacted Iron City as well to figure out if they're even aware of this petition and what it would take to change that big white and red sign for a couple days, and we're still waiting to hear back. Ken.
Okay, Royce, thanks. Take a look at this. These are throwback photos of Taylor Swift posted by the Acrisure Stadium Twitter account. She was 17 here singing the national anthem at a Steelers game in September of 2006. It was the first time she had performed for a crowd of more than 50,000. She went on to release her self-titled debut album just a month after that. So I think it's fair to say, Ray, that Pittsburgh put Taylor Swift on the map. Now let's get to the weather. There's no way it's going to rain on the Swifties on Friday and Saturday nights. Is there any way that's possible?
Do you know what? I think she has some pull with somebody because of this week, which. Keep in mind, we haven't seen much in the way of rainfall for the past month, but this week, almost every day has a chance to rain, except for the concert days. So we had our first batch move through. That was this morning. That is moving off the East Coast, but this is part of a bigger system, and we're going to get the wraparound moisture, or part 2 of this, coming into play a little after lunchtime tomorrow. So some early sunshine with the clearing out ahead of this rain, and then we're going to see the clouds and the rain build back in for the second part of tomorrow. That's going to get followed up by some rain that takes over tomorrow night and into Wednesday, especially Wednesday morning with part 3. So there's several chances of rain just in the next couple of days, from the system that came through and gave us our 1/3 of an inch today, to one that's coming in from the southwest. And at the moment, we're clearing those skies out, and that's a trend that is expected to continue tonight. So clearing skies, I think it's going to be a pretty nice start to the day tomorrow. 6 a.m., we're talking mainly clear skies around. These clouds will build back into the area, and after lunchtime, 1, 2 o'clock, some scattered showers develop, and then a little more widespread rain for the evening commute. And then into tomorrow evening, once we're at about 9, 10 o'clock, the next big wave of rain comes through. And it's looking like a soggy night tomorrow night into especially early Wednesday with this low cutting through here. So even 5 a.m., still some pretty widespread rain, but it starts to scatter out a little bit. And those showers become less numerous through the day on Wednesday. But until the evening, there's a chance we could be seeing a shower trying to pop up. Then another little batch comes through Thursday, once we hit the afternoon. So if you're keeping track, today had rain, tomorrow likely has rain, Wednesday has rain, and Thursday has rain. But once we hit the Friday, Saturday time period, that's where things quiet down. Looking at the Fort Duquesne Bridge, you can see Acrisure Stadium in the background where it all goes down Thursday, Friday. We're looking at 58 degrees, light southwesterly winds, and temperatures generally in the mid to upper 50s across the region. Still some clouds up north. So as you go to Butler, Beaver Falls, Newcastle, still more clouds than clear like we have in Pittsburgh and south. Washington, Latrobe, Pittsburgh, mainly clear conditions around. Now, when it comes to tonight, 51 degrees for Pittsburgh. Most areas, though, are going to see these temperatures into the upper 40s. And once we get into tomorrow, we'll get a quick warm up pretty early on, but the clouds are going to come in. That's going to slow the warming up, and then the rain moves in for the afternoon, and that's going to slow the warming process. So we're only going to top off at about 70 degrees Pittsburgh and south, north of town, and off to the east, temperatures generally into the upper 60s. But eventually, Saturday and Sunday, we'll be looking for the 80s to make a comeback to the area, so we'll get a little summer feel to the forecast for Saturday and Father's Day. But tonight, 51, a little cool setup. If you haven't started to clear out, you will, so we'll call it partly cloudy conditions around, and then tomorrow we'll get our temperatures back to about 70. Rain takes over for the afternoon and evening. Wednesday, especially up front, some rain. The rain showers becoming less numerous through the day there. Thursday, still a chance for some showers in the afternoon. Friday, Saturday, this is the quiet part of the forecast. And Sunday, Father's Day, 80 degrees, but we're going to be dealing with occasional rain, so it looks like a few showers are going to be developing there as well. Hopefully we can find a few dry spots to toss in for Dad.
The dads will take the rain as long as it keeps the Taylor Swift concerts in the clear. I speak for all dads on that. Thank you, Ray. Tom Brady teasing coming out of retirement one more time. How he did it in fairly dramatic fashion coming up.
I'm Nate Burleson. Tomorrow on CBS Mornings, the multi-talented Rhea Wilson will be with us to talk about her new single, and we may ask a question or two about working with her husband, Tom Hanks. That's tomorrow on CBS Mornings.
The wheel is coming to an end for Pat Sajak. He tweeted tonight that this upcoming season, his 41st, will be his last on Wheel of Fortune. Sajak has hosted the show since 1981. The Hollywood Reporter says he'll continue to serve as a consultant to the show after leaving his on-camera role. Pat Sajak is 76. New York Yankees broadcaster John Sterling took a foul ball to the head Saturday night during a game with the Red Sox. Take a look.
Now the 3-2 swung on, a pop foul back here.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
It really hit me. I didn't know it was coming back that far. You know, that foul ball actually hit me. It kind of glanced off my forehead. So I took one for the team.
Yeah, Sterling is 84. He's called games for the Yankees since 1989, and he was right back there in the booth for last night's game. Tom Brady might be sparking unretirement rumors again after making this video over the weekend with YouTuber James Donaldson.
I could hit my drone out of the sky with a football.
All right, if I hit the drone on the first try, maybe I should come out of retirement.
I like that.
Dad, you're gonna like miss. I probably will miss.
First try.
Perfectly good drone, ruined. Brady, though, was adamant when he announced his retirement for the second time that he would not be returning to the NFL. What's up next? For the first place Pirates, Rich Walsh is in with that and more. Next.
The KDKA Sports Desk is brought to you by Xfinity Mobile.
Welcome back and good evening. I'm Rich Walsh. The first place Pirates get the day off after taking 2 out of 3 against the Mets. The next 9 games are very critical for the Buccos. All division games starting in Chicago for 3, then in Milwaukee for the first time this season for 3 more, and back at home for another series against the Cubs. This stretch should give us a better idea what kind of team this is because so far they've been all over the map. Andrew McCutchen should get a lot of credit for the Bucs play this season, not only what he provides on the field, getting his 2,000th career hit yesterday against the Mets, but also off the field. Standing ovation goes to show you what the fan base thinks of number 22. His wife and kids were wearing those Kutch City T-shirts during yesterday's game, and that says it all.
But to be able to finally get it on the last day, you know, I wanted to do it here in Pittsburgh, so glad I was able to do it here, and yeah. It was a special moment. Keeping my same approach, trying to stay within myself. Threw me a fastball top of the zone first pitch. A good swing on it, was a little late, which that's pretty much how I had been throughout the homestand. But yeah, then he laid a slider in there for me, and yeah, I just stayed through it. Yeah, took a good swing on it, and yeah, some hard contact.
Well, the Pirates will rely heavily on Mitch Keller these next few weeks, and Keller had a bounce-back performance after a couple of shaky starts, pitching 7 innings yesterday, only giving up 2 hits and 1 run, which was a solo shot in the 4th inning. So far, the Bucs ace is 8-2 with a 3.41 ERA. Keller won't pitch this series against the Cubs, but will take the mound their next series, which is a critical one against the Brewers. Well, the Pirates do have some pitching issues now with Vince Velasquez out for the season. Roansy Contreras struggling and sent to the bullpen. They need a 5th starter. Today, they called up some help from Indianapolis, and it's not the guy Pirates fans were hoping for, Quinn Priester. The Bucs are bringing up Osvaldo Bido. The 27-year-old righty was strong during the spring, but has been pretty average in AAA this season. In 12 games, he's made 10 starts, 3-4 with a 4.55 ERA. This will be his first stint in the majors. He's 27-42 over 5.5 years in the minors, so not great, but he has shown some flashes, like striking out 9 batters in a game in April. Well, football season is right around the corner. We're only 90 days until Steelers kick off the season at home against the Niners. The Steelers have a mandatory minicamp starting tomorrow on the south side. All the players are expected to be in attendance, and one guy that wouldn't mind coming is former Steelers defensive lineman Tyson Alualu, who isn't signed anywhere but has been training and keeping in shape and wants another shot in the NFL, preferably with the Steelers. The 36-year-old still lives in Pittsburgh and has been training with Cam Hayward. Alualu spent 6 seasons with the Black and Gold. And as we mentioned at the top of the show, legendary sports broadcaster here in Pittsburgh, Stan Savran, died at the age of 76 tonight. Stan was the absolute best, not only as a sports broadcaster, but as a person. I was lucky enough to work with him and alongside him for the last 20-plus years, and I will miss him dearly.
There are many things you don't want to find in your pool. This is one of them. Florida wildlife officials removed a 10-foot crocodile from a home in Key West. This video, released by trapper Todd Hardwick, shows Hardwick and his team roping the crocodile. It fought back, splashing water all over the pool deck. Eventually, they did get it out, and Hardwick then encouraged it to return to its habitat. Hope that worked out. All right, that's it for our 11 o'clock report. We're back on the air with more local news at 4:30 a.m. You can get the latest, as you know, anytime at KDKA.com or streaming 24/7 on CBS News Pittsburgh. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Good night, everyone.